Full color! Captain Underpants and the preposterous plight of the Purple Potty people. Woo! The 8th epic novel by Dave Pilkey, Caldecott honor artist. Full color! Captain Underpants and the preposterous plight of the Purple Potty people. Woo! The 8th epic novel by Dave Pilkey was colored by Jose Garibaldi and Corey Baba. Scholastic Inc. For Elizabeth Yulberg. Long live the EEC. Chapters. Forward. The often told untold story of Captain Underpants. 7. 1. George and Harold. 13. 2. Those wacky grown-ups. 17. 3. The School of Hard Knocks. 23. 4. Purple Pottyville. 29. 5. Strangers in Paradise Lost. 35. 6. The World According to George. 43. 7. Getting Out of Town. 48. 8. The Preposterous Plight of Captain Blunderpants. 51. 9. Now Without My Hamster and My Pterodactyl. 59. 10. Hypno-Horror. 61. 11. Cracks to the Rescue. 65. 12. Kablamski. 70. 13. Purple Potty People Unite. 74. 14. The chapter where some stuff happens. 77. 15. Super Supper. 80. 16. The Adventures of Boxer Boar and Great Granny Girdle. 85. 17. Meanwhile, Back at the Treehouse. 99. 18. Crash. 103. 19. When Hamsters Attack.com. 107. 20. The Incredibly Graphic Violence Chapter Part 1 in Flip-Bo-Rama. TM. 111. 21. The Anticlimactic Chapter. 122. 22. Kaboom! 127. 23. 2 minutes later. 131. 24. Nobody misses water, grandbabies! 34. 134. 25. The Incredibly Graphic Violence Chapter Part 2 in Flip-Bo-Rama. TM. 141. 26. Shrinky Dogs. 154. 27. The Incredibly Graphic Violence Chapter Part 3 in Flip-Bo-Rama. 158. 28. Wrapping Things Up. 162. 29. To make a long story short. 165. 30. To make a long story even shorter. 166. 31. The chapter where nothing bad happens. 167. 32. The thing that could be worse than going to jail for the rest of their lives. 170. Hi everybody. As you can see, we've been experiencing some technical difficulties. This comic book should get you up to date on our story so far. The often told untold story of Captain Underpants by George Beard and Harold Hutchins. Once upon a time, there was 2 cool kids named George and Harold. Was super awesome. Me too. But they had a mean old principal named Mr. Crupper was mean. I'm all mad and stuff. So George and Harold hypnotized him with a 3D hypno ring. You will obey our every command. Okay. Then they accidentally made him think it was a superhero. You are Captain Underpants. Okay. Look at me, I'm Captain Underpants. Ha 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 ha. But he escaped and ran off to fight crime. Tra-la-la. Rats. George and Harold ran after him. Hey, come back. Here. No way. Hey, come back. Then one day he drank some superpower juice. Glug, glug, glug. Now he has superpowers and stuff. Look at me, I got superpowers and stuff. Aw, man. But if you think that's bad, it gets worse. Pay attention because this next part is important. The worst part is that whenever Mr. Crab hears somebody snap their fingers, snap, he turns into Captain Underpants. Tra-la-la. And whenever somebody splashes water on Captain Underpants' face, he turns back to mean old Mr. Crab. Blah, blah, blah. In their last adventure, George and Harold got 2 new pets. A bionic hamster named Sulu. Cool! And a pterodactyl named Crackers. Awesome! Everything was cool until this brainiac named Melvin showed up. I'm telling! Melvin made a time machine out of a purple potty. It looks like this. Anyways, George and Harold wanted to use the time machine, but Melvin had one rule. Don't use the time machine 2 days in a row. Okay. If you use it 2 days in a row, something very bad will happen. Okay. I mean it. Don't use it 2 days in a row. Okay. Seriously, don't use it 2 days in a row. Okay. Then Hey, let's use the sink 2 days in a row. Okay. And so, George, Harold, Crackers, and Sulu used the time machine 2 days in a row. And something very bad happened. What will happen next? Trias Comics Inc. Chapter 1, George and Harold. This is George Beard and Harold Hutchins. George is the skeleton on the right with the tie and the flat top. Harold is the one on the left with the t-shirt and the bad haircut. Remember that now. As you might remember from our last adventure, George and Harold had recently made a horrifying mistake of trying to pass through a synthetic time warp without landing the C-2X906 Super BIM Flimanatrix drive for the Beebleflex capacitating exhaust fire cool down, thus creating a sub-paradoxical dimensionalistic alternicon shift, which opened up a hypergoogliphonic screen door into a sub-omnivating ultrazenticular bionanzona flanamarzipan. To put in scientific terms, they screwed up. But don't get all freaked out because everybody looks like a skeleton. X-ray beams are a normal byproduct of interdimensional reality shifting. Don't worry, it'll probably clear up by the time you turn the page. Ah! Ah! See, what did I tell you? George, Harold, and their loyal pets suddenly found themselves wishing that they had never set foot inside the petrifying Purple Potty that was about to send them on a journey into the horrifying abyss of the unknown. A journey that would probably spell impending doom for themselves and would most likely bring about the end of our civilization as we know it. But before I can tell you that story, I have to tell you this story.